Hi everyone, it's cards.byrachel here for the stamp stop, doing the ATC shaker tutorial using Sassy Club products. I am using the Sassy Toys and the Sassy Dino stamp set, the enchanted 6x6 paper pad for the wood, and the Toy Box 6x6 paper pad. And of course, to make the base of the ATC's, I'm using the ones from Carline Design. And they are called ATC rechthoeken squares. I will link them down below as well as all the other used products. I've promised this tutorial at our last expo in Nijkerk at the Art Specially. For the workshop was already full, sadly, for both days, so people couldn't do the workshop, so I promised to make a YouTube video for it, and well, this is it basically. I've cut out 3 of the pieces. They come in 3 different sizes, small, medium and large, and I'm just gonna use some sunshine ink here to only ink around the edges because the middle part will be covered up with the next size basically. So you could, but it's not necessary to ink that as well. So for this video, we're using pattern paper, inks, and stamps mostly. I'm also using a hot foil from the Sassy Club to create these ATC cards. Like, we'll make normal ones, I will make some shaker ones. But I also want to mention you could, of course, also decorate them a bit more with some smaller die cuts, for example. At the end of the video, I'll actually show an example using the greeting farm stamps, You Are My Sunshine, which I also use some mushroom and some leaf dies to sort of fill up the space. If you want a more busy ATC, that's definitely possible. If you want to turn an ATC into a shaker ATC using die cuts, I would suggest putting the die cuts on top of the plastic, like we are gonna do with the stamps as well in a little bit. That way the shaker bits have a bit more space to move, and otherwise you have the risk of them getting stuck on your stamps or your die cuts. So that's why I do suggest that. Here I'm using sentiment from Sassy Toys. Howdy, it says. I love it. I thought it would be very cute for our girl cowboy hair. And I'm gonna use my stamping tool to stamp my sentiment. I did lay out the image and stuff to see where it could go. I do remember that I have a bit more space, like here it doesn't quite fit, but this is the smallest piece of the tree, so we also have the medium and the large. And personally, I don't mind things overlapping multiple layers. If you do mind, then you could always do the sentiment on the back of your ATC, for example, or of course use a smaller sentiment, but personally I don't mind that at all. Pattern paper, of course, is a very easy way to like create a background for your ATCs because it just has a bit less inking and stenciling to do. But I usually do prefer my inks. I think inking backgrounds and stuff is one of my favorite things about card or ATC making. But I did want to show that this has some amazing pattern papers that go very well with certain stamps. But also you can mix and match. Like I'm using that wood grain pattern paper from a whole different set basically. So yeah, here I'm just attaching the biggest and the medium layers together. And then we can also start attaching this smaller piece. For this one, we'll put it onto the medium piece because this one will be a normal ATC, so not a shaker. And then for the other one with our female cowgirl, we'll turn that one into a shaker so that the smallest piece is not secure yet. As you can see, I always got an extra piece of the biggest one because I'm make a mess when inking, so it's never entirely white for me in the back. So this way it's nice and white again, and also it adds some more stability because my paper that I use for ink blending isn't the sturdiest, so I like the double layers. If your ink blending paper is a bit more sturdier than mine, then you could do 1 layer if you're a neater inker than I am, because I always make a mess. Here we're just layering on that cute little pig and our boy cowboy. And that will finish the first ATC of this video. I made quite a few just to show you that a lot of stamps can be used for ATCs. And at the end I'll also show the examples with the die cuts. And now we're gonna work on our shaker ATC. Everything is basically the same. Just make sure you leave that small piece off for now. I'm using these little plastic bags that you can use to store your cards in. It's a really cheap option to create shaker ATCs. And here we're just gonna grab our double-sided adhesive, and basically we will start attaching it. I always like to go to the bottom part. It doesn't matter where, but be sure to leave one side open basically always, because you do want to be able to fill your shaker ATC, of course. So here you can see me placing that double-sided adhesive on the bottom of our ATC, the smallest one. I suppose you could layer the first two, for example, and make that into a shaker if you want the layering shown, like a lot of options, but hey. Then we just fold over that bottom part and attach it to that double-sided tape, and then we attach our tape to our sides. And before we fold that over, I like to cut like the corners a bit neater at an angle so it folds over nicer. And of course we also take off the backing and then just fold in the sides. I always do it a bit too tight because I cannot help myself that I want the sides to look neat, and the only way to do that is to like fold it tight. Here we cut the corners again as well, and a little bit of that inside piece. Be sure not to cut your outside piece because then it will be leaking. But if you do it a bit more loosely, it shakes better. So ATC shaker cards will not shake as well as a normal shaker card. But it can be a bit better if you don't fold it as tightly as I did here. But then your corners and the sides and stuff will not look as neatly. So it's a bit what you prefer. I just like the look of the sequins in there, and I don't mind them not shaking that well. At the end, I will show what it looks like if they shake a bit better, if you do it more loosely. So, you know, just try both options to see what you prefer. Here I'm attaching the double-sided tape on the back because we use that plastic. It just works better than glue. But I also add a bit of liquid glue just because it gives us some wiggle room to put it on straight, well, straight in the middle. That's not my best quality to getting straight the first go. So with a bit of liquid glue, we have a bit more time and wiggle room to, you know, make sure it's somewhat straight, because that's the best I can always do, somewhat straight. And here you can see it shake a little bit, like doesn't shake as well as normal shaker cards, but I still think it adds a very nice touch to ATCs. Here we just use a combination of that double-sided tape and liquid glue again to make it stick straight away, but also, you know, have some more wiggle time. And glue does dry really sturdy, like it puts it together really well. But here you can see them next to each other, and then we also do a space character from this fandom, and we'll also do it in a shaker card, but instead of using that pattern paper as a background, I'm actually gonna do some ink blending to create a bit of a galaxy background. I've used some mango orange ink, and I'm using citron. It's a bit of a yellow green, and then we'll use some orchid. And then I'll just go over it with cobalt, yeah, and navy around the edges. You can make any type of ink background you like, of course, but I thought for our space character from this fandom, this would be very nice. Off camera, I also added some like white silvery splatters, like an opal, I suppose it's called. So, and here we go with that opal, and I'm just going straight over it, so your bright colors will turn a bit more soft, but I do like the look it gives, because you know a galaxy isn't just blue, so I do like that very much. I also want to talk a bit about the last expo in night character art, especially. It was so fun. People were so um, happy about the stamps we offer, and you know all that old school sentiment and recognizable characters. So that was so fun, and I want to thank everyone for supporting us there, and it meant so much to us to have that like enthusiasm from you guys. So thank you for that. It's much appreciated. Here I'm gonna ink one of those pieces with the orchid just around the edges again. And like I mentioned before, this video is actually inspired by that. With the art especially because the workshop was full quite fast. So like at 9:05 on the Saturday, every walk-in spot was filled up as well. So we had to let some people down, sadly. Hopefully next year I can bring one of our DT members with us. They could also do some workshops, and myself. So we could do more workshops, and I'll probably get an extra table so more people at once can join in the workshop. So I'm hoping for that. Okay, well, I blabbered on, but I used Apple on the other panel, and now I'm just gonna stamp background. You are out of this world. A bit like not straight. I just thought that would be a fun touch. And on the back of the ACT this time, because I didn't feel like there was much space for this sentiment at the front. Here I'm just gonna attach the purple and the blue background, and then our white one again with our text. If you stamp a text on the background, make sure you put it right side up. Your images basically. I almost did that wrong. Here you can see me attaching a piece of double-sided tape again, and on the bottom part, and I'm just gonna fold that over here. I thought it might be more visible on a white paper towel. It's still a bit difficult to see, but I feel like it's a bit better. And now we're just gonna attach the double-sided adhesive to the sides and cut our corners. When I was making this video, I tried to use like stamp sets and stuff that are still in stock, because we are a bit low in stock due to that expo. Sandra from the Sassy Club actually has her own expo in April in the United States, so we can order like end of April again. So it will be a bit longer before things are restocked, but I hope you guys understand. Like, she has an expo in holiday, we had an expo, so that's why the stock is so low. But most things will get refilled. There is a chance, of course, that some products that don't go too well for us won't get restocked. So if you really want something, then you can always send us an email at thestemstop@hotmail.com, or send us a PM on Instagram or Facebook so we can order it for you. And now we're just gonna apply those double-sided adhesives to the back here, and also add some glue, like I said before, just to make sure we have some wiggle room to get it as straight as possible again. With the next ATCs, I will go a bit faster. Sometimes I've inked off camera, for example, or I stamped the sentiments off camera, just to make this video not too long and repetitive. Like I said, I did try to use stamps that are still in stock. When I was making this Sassy Dino and Sassy Toys was still in stock. At the moment of voicing this, though, it is sold. But again, if you want these two sets, just let us know and we can do that. Now it's time to attach our space character. He definitely is one of my favorites. Maybe it's because I have a weakness for space backgrounds. But here you can see this first three set of ATCs. sorry. And here we are using Tower, which is actually on sale at the moment. We are also using Pretty Hair. For the girl with the long hair, and we're using Most Wanted for the prince slash hero character of the story. And of course, we're using that enchanted 6x6 paper pad for that lantern background. And I also got some pieces of grass here. Again, to show you that you can use die cuts as well. At the end of the video, there will be way more die cuts on the ATC, but here you can see it already a bit, and I'm gonna blend that out with citron and apple. I just love that color combination for like of a more bright grass. And then for our villain from the tower stamp set, I use Slade. And then for our princess with the long blonde hair, we'll use the fresh pink. And I believe I also use lilac for the biggest part of the HC. Yeah, here we go, lilac. Did I say lilac? I believe I did, yeah. And I believe for our little hero prince, I also use lilac and breeze. Very light blue, I believe. It's been this morning, actually. I'm voicing this in the evening, but yeah, it's been busy weeks with 2 expos this month, and like fun weeks. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot of fun, but sometimes my mind goes like blank, like what did I do again? So I just need to see it on the video, basically. But yeah, I believe I used breeze for that. I did stamp the sentiments of camera. Here I did it on the back. Mother knows best. We have that sunshine and slate inked panels. And I'm also gonna... Here I want to attach the background. The smallest piece. And then I realized, no, what am I doing? I wanted this to be the shaker. So luckily my glue hasn't completely dried yet, as you can see, so I can rip it off. So always remember to not attach the smallest piece if you want to turn it into a shaker. That was a bit unlucky, but well, I guess lucky. I could show you the mistake and I could still fix it for myself. And here we're just gonna do everything again with that double-sided piece. So I think I will skip a bit ahead so it's not too repetitive. If you still have questions about how to assemble it, be sure to leave a comment or send me a PM or anything like that, and I'll be happy to answer them, but I think we've seen enough of them for now. So I skipped ahead to the point where we applied our double-sided adhesive on the back. And we can attach it to the rest of our ATC, making sure the text is the right way on the back of our ATC. And here I forgot to add liquid glue, as you can see, and it wasn't straight. But, you know, double-sided tape stock is stock, so we just have to make do with it. But punishing, this ATC was punishing, like... At first I tried to attach it and it shouldn't have yet, and now I forgot the liquid glue and it's a bit crooked, but hey. Then we just attached our evil mother on there, and you know, get going. Here off camera you can see let your hair down, stamped on the grass part. I'm just gonna attach our long hair princess there, and on the back of the HC it says you deserve it, and here you say hey handsome, you are my world. So we'll also attach, yeah, this small little cute chameleon. So he has a little friend. So here you can see our 3 sets of ATCs again. So for our next ATCs, we're using Fantastic Mouse, and we're using the mouse gold foil plate. There's also a Cutie Bow one, which is the female mouse. I'm just waited till my machine was hot enough, put it on the plate, and my dark blue hot foil with the pretty side down. Then our 2 smallest panels are going on there. I'm doing 1 landscape and 1 portrait. And I'm just gonna press the timer, and once it stop blinking, as you can see there. We're gonna run it through a die cut machine. The hot foil plate I'm using used to be all gold, but I foiled it the wrong way, so it has a bit of pretty red hot foil on it. It still works perfectly though. As you can see here, look at that beautiful background with that nice shine. Absolutely love it. Here I've used Cherry Kisses and Freeze for the ink, and again did some opal shimmers on the backgrounds. And here I did it again. Like, how many times can you make the same mistake? But I wanted our portrait to be a shaker and a landscape to be a flat ATC. And I started attaching it again. But luckily, I realized it in time. And here you can see we're just attaching those Fantastic Mouse images. And I think this set is so fun. Like, it's one of the first Disney movies, and it just brings back memories for me. And yeah, because of the hot foil, I didn't have space for a sentiment. So if the hat fits, make it magical is stamped on the back piece. And that's our first flat ATC card. So now it's time to do our shaker one. I am gonna attach Shoot for the Stars on the back piece. That one I could attach already. And then we're just gonna do this ordeal again with the double-sided adhesive on the bottom. Fold it down, cut your corners, put adhesive on the sides, fold it down, not too tight again, cut your corners, and then fill it, and then fold it down again. So it's basically very easy to do this and turn it into shakers. You might ask yourself, what on earth are you gonna do with all these ATCs you made? Well, I'm gonna save some for example cards for stamp sets on our next expo, which will be, I said, Rijswijk in November this year, which we'll still go to, don't worry. But we will be going to Gorkum this year as well. So hopefully we can see you guys there. More information will surely follow. For this one, I'm just using these like clear opal sort of sequence. I thought they would look good with the blue and the red. I didn't want to add to it with color, so I just went for a more opal one, or holographic silver also works quite well for that sort of purpose, I feel. But yeah, I will save some for our coming expos, of course. It's always nice to like sort of place this small ATC with a stamp set so people can see it in action, so to say. And the rest I will use to put in you guys' online orders. I always find it very fun to put like little handmade something there, to thank you guys for supporting us and, ordering from us. It's much appreciated. Like, we have 600 followers on Instagram now, and we started end of August our webshop, end of August 2024. So that went pretty fast. I'm so happy with it, and I always loved the Sassy Club products. Yeah, I love being on Standard SDT, and people were always asking me like, where do you get these stamps? And it's so expensive to get them from the US, which I totally get. So yeah, I'm very happy that more people can enjoy this awesome brand. And also the greeting farm is definitely a very amazing brand too. I love the Anya sets, and I love all her cute critters. So, I'm just happy to offer all of that. And as we speak, we will probably, we'll be surely putting some other waffle flower products and the upcoming release that goes live April 5th on the website soon. It hasn't arrived yet, the first package with all the products. I expect maybe this week, otherwise Monday the latest, I think. You never know with a mail, but yeah, maybe. And the other one, I hope before the end of next week, with the new release. It will be later than the 5th, but we will put it available as a pre-order on the web shop. So if you want it, you can already grab it before it's might be gone. And here I'm using the I Got Legs stamp set, which is like this obviously themed red little mermaid, and I'm also using the prints for a second one. I believe I turned both of these into shakers, so just was feeling that. And I've also showed the Kiss the Girl stamp set. It's from the same fandom. The image is too big for an ATC. It has them both in the little boat, which is one of my favorite scenes from the movie. And that song, Kiss the Girl. Okay, I will not sing, you guys, then everyone tunes out. But I just really like that scene and that stamp. But I tried to use it, but sadly the images were a bit too big. So I went for this one that I got legs, and it's so pretty because she has her pretty dress on and the prints and everything. So yeah, I just created a bit of sand, water, and a sun in the background, and just touched my images and did the sentiments on the back. I got gadgets aplenty something and sending oceans of love on the prince one at the back. And I just realized that bit of leaf I used there is actually also from the Kiss the Girl stamp set, which makes it extra special to create your boat scene. And here you can see those die cut ATCs I was talking about before to fill up your space. See, you can use that as well to fill up your ATCs. Here we have some close-ups of the ATC cards created today, the shaker ones and the normal ones. So if you have any more questions about this, leave a comment, send me an email, PM, whatever you want, and I can help you to also create your own ATC shaker cards. All the products used will be listed below for you to see. Thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye!